Welcome to the weekly Rise and Grind team call where we hop on here Friday nights and I chit chat, share some stuff, what works for me, what doesn't work for me, what I've been through, what I'm struggling with. Hopefully somebody listens, takes something out of it, and progresses with it. So as far as recognition, none of us are in Success Club yet, which is fine. It's only the 6th of the month. I personally like to run a free challenge group the first week of the month. Out of that free challenge group, I'm looking for those people who are consistent with posting, and those are the ones I reach out to and invite to a Beachbody challenge group, which I start on the third Monday of each month. So I personally mostly rank in my points on the second to third week of the month. So if you guys are planning that same route, then that is awesome. Keep it up. So aside from that, the recognition is going out to none other than Chelsea and Kaylee because it's their birthday. So happy birthday to you guys. And again, Chelsea, I thank you for taking time out of your birthday to still show up on the team call, which is sweet. So moving forward, I've had a lot on my mind this week. And one of the primary things I've had on my mind with this week is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll make a bullet point number 4. So today's call, I'm going to give you guys 5 tips to success. Or 5, really it comes down, these are 5 things that have been on my mind this week. So number 1, you guys ready? Number 1 is going to be mindset. Mindset is huge. Mindset is something that is a missing link to a lot of people, whether it be a coach, a customer, or just somebody living their life. We can master fitness and nutrition and get a 6-pack and all this stuff, but if your mindset is not growing and developing and strengthening with it, you're never going to make it a lifestyle. Beachbody is a lifestyle. For those of us like myself who this is my full-time gig. This is what I want to do as a career. I still do massage part-time because it is another passion of mine. I love helping people physically with my hands, being able to work out tensions and knots and all that kind of stuff. But my career, my true calling is Beachbody. And I believe it 101 freaking 1,000%. Because there's not a doubt in my mind that this is what I was not supposed to be doing. There's no doubt about it. This is my calling. This is what I'm here for. And that's why I do these team calls, because for those of you who have the same mindset that I do, you're going to completely understand everything I say. For those of you who are just doing this as a hobby, it's something fun to do. You get a little bit of, income off of it here and there. That's perfectly okay. We all have different goals. But for those of you who are serious, for those of you who understand what I talk about, these messages are for you guys. So when it comes down to mindset, sure, we can host challenge groups and sure, we can kick ass in workouts and do all this fun stuff. But here's the thing. A lot of people are stuck with different types of mindsets that we need to break out of. I've had to break out of several of them, and I'll talk about one of them. So the number one thing about mindset is you always need to maintain a positive, calm mindset. One thing you need to fully accept in life is that shit will happen. And when it does hit the fan, you need to be the one that stays calm and collected and positive. That way you can look at the best way to overcome whatever you're going through. It's like, you guys know the story about my son Titus and our stay in the intensive care unit with him for 2 weeks. That was a huge test of my mindset, because the first thing I want to do is scream, why me, why me? There's a very small percentage of children that have to go into an intensive care unit the way that he did. So the first thought that first day was, why me? I try to live a good life. I try to be a good person. Why me? And throughout that why me mentality, it turns into looking at other people. I remember scrolling through Facebook the first night I was staying with him in the hospital. And I remember seeing people talk about all these positive things happening, and I'm thinking, why not me? Why did this happen to me? They're having awesome positive stuff happen right now. Why not me? Why am I stuck here in the hospital? Why is my son having to go through this? But you know what? It's never the situation. It's how you react to the situation. It's how you are looking at it and how you are trying to overcome it. And this is where we all know people that they attract nothing but drama. We all know people that it's like every single Facebook post, every time you talk to them, there's, oh my gosh, this is what's going on. He said, she said, my job, blah, blah, blah. There's always that person we know that is just surrounded by drama. And it's because their mindset is drama. So they attract more drama. There's no big secret that if you look at successful, wealthy entrepreneurs and these people who are extremely successful, there's no hidden secret to why they hang out and attract other successful people into their life. And when you look at somebody who's drama filled and always has problems, and they're always talking about their problems, here's the thing that I have figured out. They don't want to overcome those problems because that is what they live off of. So if they do face it and overcome that problem and put it behind them, all of a sudden they're sitting here thinking, wow, I have nothing to talk about now. I have no way of drawing attention to myself. Oh, here's a new drama situation. I'll pull that in. And all of a sudden that becomes their life. We all know people like that. So always, no matter what you are going through, seriously, I mean, I know people that have been diagnosed with terminal illness and they still come out on top. They still come out with a positive attitude towards whatever they're going through. No matter what, always remember that your attitude is completely your choice. Your situations are not always your choice. Sometimes we get put in crappy situations. Sometimes shit hits the fan. But even in those times, as easy as it is to think, why me? Wow, this sucks. I'm going to blast it all over Facebook and I'm just going to shut down and be a hermit. Even during those times, your attitude is still your choice. 100%. No doubt about it. So positivity, always keep that in the frontal part of your brain. Number 2 is resentment. And this is where I can share a little bit about where I've struggled with this. And resentment can be on different levels. For me personally, it was, about a year ago, I would look at these top 10 coaches and think, and some of them I personally have met and knew. I remember them as emeralds and diamonds. At the same time, I was an emerald and a diamond. And so I remember looking at them hit 5, 1 star, 2 star, 5 star, 10 star, and they hit the top 10. And I remember trying to almost belittle them. I remember thinking, well, they're doing this. That's not the way I want to do it, and blah, blah, blah. I remember being so resentful towards those people because they were achieving what I haven't. Even though I wanted to, I resented them because of the fact that they did it. They put in the work. And when I reflect back now, I wasn't putting in the work they were putting in. I was putting in bare minimum to maintain what at the time was my emerald or diamond rank. If you put in the bare minimum work, you're going to always get the bare minimum results. And so I will never forget that time for probably a year where I was so resentful because I thought I have everything and am doing everything that they are doing. Why am I not in their position? And it came down to the fact that I was just resentful. Instead of focusing on my own stuff and what I need to do, I was focusing on them. And that can be on all levels, guys. That can be in relationships, business, finances. That can be in all different levels of life. If you are being resentful and holding grudges towards people that are achieving what you already have or what you want and they already have it, that's not going to do anything but push you further and further away from getting it yourself. And I saw a quote the other day float around on Facebook, which I loved. And it was, one of the key ingredients to success is focusing on your own shit, not what other people are doing. And I loved it because it's so true. Focus on what you're doing and what you can be doing more of, and do it, because you will reach whatever goal you want if you are just showing up and doing it. Number 3, as far as mindset, is fear. We have a huge issue with fear. It's just the human part of us. We all have fears. I'm not talking about, like fear of spiders and fear of the dark. I'm not talking about the superficial stuff. I'm talking about true fear. And the thing with fear is, I've talked about this before, where Greg Plitt says, fear is self-imposed, meaning you create it and you can destroy it. It comes down to a choice. It comes down to you showing up and just facing whatever you're afraid of. For myself, I look at the fact that I've been stuck at diamond rank for the last 3 years, and I've narrowed it down to, it's because, number one, I was not putting in star diamond level work. I've been doing diamond level work, so I'm going to maintain a diamond until I do star diamond level work. What has held me back from doing star diamond work is I've had fear of the responsibility that comes with it. For me to achieve star diamond, I need to be a leader and teach, and mostly teach my team how to duplicate what I've done. And that attracted a fear of responsibility, because for me to do that, I would need to be consistent. I could no longer start a project or a challenge group or something and then quit. Start, stop, start, stop. We've all been there. We all have stuff that we've started and stopped. Maybe it's fitness, maybe it's nutrition, but the yo-yo effect is not effective if you truly want success with whatever your goals are. So for myself, I had a fear. It's still something I struggle with. I have a fear of the responsibilities that come with star diamond levels, because I know I'm going to be in the spotlight. I'm going to be the leader that people look up to host the trainings, to do these calls, to do the business opportunity webinars every week. And if I don't show up, people are going to call me out on it. And that's been a fear. But you know how I've overcome it? I've just sucked it up, and I made the decision that, is achieving that goal worth facing the fear? I'll repeat that one more time. Is achieving the goal worth facing the fear? Because if it is, then show up and do the work that's involved. If you really want to face those fears, you have to first determine what the fear is, have the mindset of positivity to, you really, really want and need to overcome it. Put yourself in a situation where you need to overcome it, and then do it. A prime example is these comfort zone challenges that I've been starting to do. Is the first one that a bunch of us did was awesome. And it was simply go out in a public place with at least 2 people around, lay down on the ground, as long as it takes for your butterflies to go away, maybe 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, however long. Take a picture of your feet just for proof, and fun. And a bunch of us did it. And guess what? That was a fear, because that type of fear is fear of public embarrassment, fear of somebody looking at you going, what the hell are you doing? Right? That's a true fear that we build ourselves. But for those of you that overcame it, once you did it, you all said that you felt exhilarated. You felt a sense of relief. Like, wow, all this time, I've been so afraid of public embarrassment. And all of a sudden, it's kind of just lifted off your shoulders. And huge shout out to Chelsea, who did the last challenge. I'm committing to doing it tomorrow. Schedule's been kind of nuts, so I haven't made time to go out and do it, but I'm doing it tomorrow. Chelsea went out and did the other challenge that I posted, which is go out into a public place, find 2 strangers, meaning people you do not know, because if you already know them, it defeats the purpose. You're still staying in your comfort zone, right? Talking to somebody you know. So talk to 2 complete strangers and go up to them and just say, hey, I'm doing this challenge. Do you have a few minutes for me to ask you some questions? And you just find out about And, it's form. Find out about their family, their occupation, their recreation, etc. And then you take a selfie, post it inside the group, let us know about them. Chelsea reached out to me and she said, I finally did it. And I asked her, how did you feel afterwards? She said, amazing, because there's this fear of talking to people that for whatever reason, we all have different reasons. We have this fear of talking to people that we don't know. There's this awkwardness. Isn't it funny how, I've always thought about this, isn't it funny how you think about how you talk to your friends and it's like there's no barriers, you're just yourself 100%. But then you talk to a stranger in like a grocery store or coffee shop and all of a sudden there's all these walls up and you're just fake. Why put up the walls? If you go out into public, the second you leave your house, if you just stop at your door and you say, you know what, I'm going to go out here today and I'm going to take all my walls down. I'm just going to be me. Guess what? You're going to attract people that like you for who you are. Not the fake, oh, how are you doing? Oh, we're grabbing for the same lettuce. Like, don't be fake like that. Be yourself, because you're going to attract people who are just like you. I don't know, that's something that always runs in my mind. And the other thing about that too is, you don't have to meet somebody and then spend a year building a relationship until you can finally just open up and be you 100%. If you are truly just yourself right out of the gates, you're going to attract those people. You're not going to have to weed out who the true people are going to be in your life. So mindset, positivity, resentment, and fear. Those are kind of the top three that I can think of that I've personally always had to, whether I had struggles with them or something I've been working on. But most of you guys, I'm on this call, you guys hear me talk about it. Some people know me just on Facebook. Some people know me in person, but everyone knows that I'm always happy. I'm always smiling. I'm always myself. It's taken time to get there. It doesn't happen overnight. If you're still in a situation where you have these fears and you feel like a hermit, you try to lock yourself in this little bubble, it takes time to get out of that. But you have to always show up and be working towards it, because if you stop working towards it, you're always going to fall backwards. So for myself, it's been getting over my resentments, learning to just let it go and say, you know what? They're going to do what they're going to do. I need to focus on me, what I'm doing, what I'm going to do more of, and where I'm going to be in a year. That's what I need to focus on. So I've learned to do that. And then I've learned to start to face my fears more. I've learned to just show. We're still recording now?
It's back. Yeah, it's recording.
What in the world? That just totally cut out. Looks like we lost Jen. Oh, well, we'll keep going.
There she is.
There she is. I don't know why that kicked me off. I need to get a new router up here is what I need to do. So anyways, I've learned to get over my resentments. I've learned to face my fears. And all of this mindset stuff comes back to law of attraction. What you put out is going to be what you attract. Again, going back to the example of, you look at those people who we know that are drama filled in their life. Those are the people who are always going to attract more drama. The people who are always broke, living paycheck to paycheck and complaining about their bills, they're always going to be broke and complain about their bills, because that's what they're attracting. The people who are successful and live a positive mindset and are always looking at goals and achievements and trying to push forward, we are the ones who are going to always attract bigger and better things into our life. If you look back 5 years ago and you're still in the exact same place in your life, there's probably a chance that that's what you have attracted based on your choices and what you're always thinking about, because our thoughts create our reality. Have you guys ever had those situations where you're in a car and you're thinking about a song and it pops up on the radio? Right? I've had that happen more than once. Or, for example, I have been focusing on, I'm working on building my little home office here, if you want to call it that. So like my massage table, I've got a curtain rod. So tonight after this call, I've got a bunch of my camera's all funky. There we go. So for example, tonight after this call, I'm going to build a little home office out of this, right? Because I've been so focused on and thinking constantly about getting this office built up and getting more massage clients through here. Guess what? Without doing any advertisement, without doing any talking about it, I've been getting more massage clients in here based on referrals, just literally out of nowhere, because it's been in my mind, and what your thoughts always create your reality. So always have your mindset in check. Always have your mindset knowing that whatever you think about, you're going to attract more of. It's just like when you think, wow, I hope this bill collector doesn't call, and all of a sudden they call. You think about a song that comes on the radio. You think about more massage clients, and all of a sudden I have more massage clients. I can't explain enough just how powerful your mindset truly is. So, any questions on mindset from our live crowd? Thumbs up, you guys all good? Cool. Number 2, that was tip number 1. Number 2, when it comes to being successful in any part of your life, are you truly maxing out? And I started thinking about this morning because I am on week 5, day 5 of Insanity Max 30. And so week 5 means I am now in my month 2 workouts. Month 1 is behind me. Those 4 weeks are done. So month 2, the workouts get harder, which shockingly, you don't think they can get harder, but they do. So this morning, we did a little workout called Friday Fight Round 2. I thought round 1 was hard. Round 2 is something else. I'm going to go ahead and just say it's probably the hardest workout I have ever done. I've been doing Beachbody for 6 years. Friday Fight Round 2. It's a close call behind, I'm going to say Sweat, Max Out Sweat. Those 2 workouts will humble you big time. You think you're in shape until you do one of those workouts. So anyways, bullet point number 2 is when I did this workout this morning, I maxed out early. Shockingly early for me. I usually can, and for those of you who have not done Insanity Max, from the time that you push play, you are to push as hard as you can with good form. And the first time that you hit your breaking point, the first time that you tap out and say, okay, I need a break, that's your max out time. Typically, I would max out anywhere from, I'd say 8 to 12 minutes is my average, depending on the workout. I can usually push at least 8 minutes before I need to tap out and take a break and then jump back into it. So I tapped out at about under 6 minutes today. That was a humbling experience. I maxed out at under 6 minutes. And after I took my break, I got back into it. I had these weird breaking points, good in a good way. I had these weird breaking points where I'd hit a move, I'd get tired, my legs are on fire, I'm doing 1,000 push-ups, and I kept going. Right when I would typically stop, I said, can you do one more? Yes, I could do one more. So I do one more and do one more after that. And it's like it unlocked something. I was able to do way more than I thought I could. And I thought back to my last 4 weeks on the program, thinking back to all those times where, did I really max out? Did I really push for every single rep and every single second that I could before I said I'm done, I maxed out? Or did I slack? Did I make an excuse? Oh, my knee kind of hurts. Oh, this burns a little too much. I'm out of breath. Did I make an excuse for why I maxed out? Or did I truly max out? And so this morning, especially at the very last 2 moves in Friday Fight Round 2, holy crap. I thought I was going to die. My heart rate had to have been at least 190, which for me is pretty high. I throughout this time too, as it's burning, I'm thinking about the business and like being a Beachbody coach in general and just trying to be somebody who's trying to do better in life. And I remember thinking, am I maxing out in Beachbody? Am I showing up and doing every single thing I can possibly do to achieve my Beachbody goals? Or am I making excuses? Am I saying, oh, it burns, I'm out of breath, I'm going to take a break? Think about that for a second. In your own Beachbody world, whether you're working the business or not, think about your Beachbody world and what your Beachbody goals are. Are you taking more breaks than you need to be? Are you truly pushing to your max? Are you doing every single rep that you can do? Are you doing every single second that you can do? And what this comes down to is my last 2 to 3, even 4 weeks, the last month has been the most productive month I have ever had in the Beachbody world. It sounds weird for me to say because I've been doing this for 6 years, but the last month has been more productive than ever. Why? Because I've been showing up and I have not gone to sleep until I put in the work. I was up till 2 a.m. last night because I spent all day doing some work, and then I found myself scrolling through Facebook, and I found myself not wanting to do stuff. And so I got home from a family dinner. I looked at my list here and I thought, I have not done my Instagram comments. I have not done my Instagram posts. I have not checked up with all my messages. I have not done this. Well, crap. So the old me, I'd go right to bed. I'd say, okay, I messed up. Tomorrow's a new day. I go to bed. Not my mentality anymore. My mentality the last month has been, I will do every single thing humanly possible during my waking hours to make this thing successful. And that's the difference between the people who will quit the business and the people who will succeed. You can continue progressing forward, you can stay where you're at, or you can quit. Those are the 3 categories in the Beachbody world. I refuse to stay in maintenance mode the way I did last year. So again, bullet point number 2, are you truly maxing out? Are you doing everything you can possibly do? Think about the blog post, the video, the invites. Think about these things that you might have been putting off. Write them down. Tomorrow when you wake up, review your list, block off a 2 or 3 hour time block, and say, I am not going to sleep until I get these done. If you can truly wake up and do that, if you can max out in your business, there's no reason why a year from now you can't be making $1,000 or $2,000 or $5,000 a month. If you truly want it that bad and you show up and do the work every single day. Everyone's always asking for the big secret to how to build this business. Guess what? I have condensed it all down right here. And it's all stuff you guys already know. I just made it into a structured format. And I got it laminated. You guys can see the reflection there. I got it laminated. I use a dry erase marker so I can mark it off each day, and then each morning I swipe it clean. If you follow that list, your business will grow. And I'm talking if you truly follow it, not skip stuff, not think, well, I don't really feel like doing this. That's not going to work. You have to show up and do it. So that's bullet point number 2. Number 3 is one, two, three. You have something within you that you haven't even tapped into yet. And that kind of correlates back into how the last month has been the most productive in probably my whole 6 years. I found something inside of me that I have never tapped into, and it's called true work. It's called grinding. Trista's probably sick and tired of hearing me say it's grind time. I'm in the middle of the trenches. I'm grinding. This is my grind time. I've been saying that so much because even after, for example, last night, we didn't get back home until after 10 p.m. from dinner. I was exhausted, and there was like 49% of me that wanted to just go to bed. But that extra half said, you're not done grinding. You want the success, you will work for it. So I opened up my laptop and I got to work. I didn't go to bed till 2 a.m. because I wanted it that bad. I got my whole list done. So you have to ask yourself, what am I holding back on? What inside of me have I not even tapped into yet? What if for one day I put in 110% effort? What if for one day I acted like a top 10 coach and all eyes were on me? If you knew you had 1,000 coaches underneath you, all looking up to you and what you're doing, you would probably do that extra little bit, right? That's the work ethic it takes now to get there. You can't wait until you are a 10-star diamond to start doing 10-star diamond work. You have to put in the work now. I don't care if you're just a coach and not even an emerald. If you just signed up today, if you put in 10-star diamond level work, which means you work your ass off, if you put in that level of work consistently, at least 6 days a week, I take Sundays off. Perfectly okay if you guys do too. But if you do that 6 days a week, if you put in kick-ass level work, you will get there. Probably a lot sooner than the person who's just bare minimum work. Because if you put in minimal level work, you're always going to stay at minimal level rank and income and amount of people that you're helping. Because the more challenge packs that you're selling, the more coaches that you're bringing in, those are more people that you're able to help. And that's why most of us got into this business, is because we want to help people, right? How can you help people if you're afraid to even talk to anyone? You have to talk to people. You have to invite them, because we have an incredible opportunity and you are the gateway to it. That's as simple as it needs to be. You are the gateway to changing someone's life. So if you are selfish enough to not share it with them, what's the point? Don't be afraid to share this thing with people, because it's changed my life incredibly. And I know for each of you that are watching this call, the ones who watch these calls are the ones who are serious about this thing. The ones who keep putting it off. And I've hosted over, I think this is getting close to 60 calls. There's not many people who have watched all 60, because there's not many people who are serious. The serious ones will do the extra effort, like watching the calls, listening to the National Wake Up Call on Monday mornings, putting in the extra invite, writing the extra blog post, making the extra video, following the list, marking every single thing off. The ones who are serious are going to do that. So again, I ask you, what have you been holding back on? What should you be doing more of? And what are you going to do more of starting now? Number 4, find out what you want and go after it as if your life depends on it. That's from our good friend and leader, Mr. Les Brown, one of my favorite motivational speakers. Find out what you want and go after it as if your life depends on it. For those of you, let's say you have a spouse or you're married and you have 2 incomes. Let's say your spouse gets fired. Now all of a sudden your income is relied on you. Would you start working a little bit harder to make up for that income? Probably. That's a similar situation that happened to Tristan and I, where she's still on maternity leave. And we've been living off my income for the last 7-ish weeks, 7 to 8 weeks. That's a first. We've always had 2 incomes. So now all of a sudden she's not working. Long story short, she only got paid half of what her maternity leave, what we were expecting. You bet your ass I've been busting mine a little bit extra to make up for that. That's the level of work you need to be putting in for whatever you want. If you want to be a diamond coach, you need to go after it as if your life depends on it. You need to go after, like, if in 60 or 90 days you do not hit diamond rank, Carl Deichler is going to call you up and fire you. Think about it that way. If Carl Deichler put a time limit on it, you'd probably get there, right? That's how intensely you need to work this thing. That's the difference between those who make it and those who don't. Number 4, this can be your year of success and finally doing it, whatever it is, because we all have different goals. This can be your year to finally do it if you follow everything I just talked about. You maintain a positive mindset. You truly max out. You do every single rep that you can, which means every single task list item. This is my personal list. Whatever you guys want to follow is fine, but you have to be maxing out. You have to do every single rep on that list. You have to find out what you want and go after as if your life truly depends. All right, guys. Sorry, internet connection cut out again. I'm going to be getting myself a new router, specifically upstairs, so it's not such a weak connection. So again, this can be your year if you just follow the simple steps that it takes. The hard part is just showing up and doing it. And last but not least, number 5, Nike said it best. Just do it. Just show up. It doesn't matter how much you don't feel like it. Just show up and do the work. Because true commitment to something means showing up, especially on the days that you don't feel like it. How often do we start things that we temporarily feel inspired to do or we're motivated to do? So we start it, and then a week or 2 weeks down the road, we go, I don't feel like it. I'm going to skip today. So you skip one day, which leads into 2 days and 3 days and 4 days and 5 days in the whole week and 2 weeks and 2 months. The most common thing that happens with that is fitness and nutrition. People step on the scale after binging all weekend and they go, ugh, I'm so tired of this. I'm going to make some changes starting tomorrow. So they wake up tomorrow. They go on the treadmill, they eat some chicken salad, and they feel good, right? They're inspired for 2 days. And then by the end of the week, they've repeated the whole process that they started with. They binge on the weekend, start on Monday, binge on the weekend, start next Monday. That's a prime example. Especially when you're talking about network marketing or direct sales marketing, the business that we're in, we are selling programs and products that can change people's lives. And there is an investment for them to make. So it's easy to temporarily get excited about something, maybe a challenge group, maybe you're going to go on an inviting spree. It's easy to get temporarily excited. And then after a week, you realize, oh, this is hard. I don't feel like it today. I don't feel like talking to anybody. I'm not going to send out my invites. I don't feel like posting. I'm just going to skip today. And it turns into 2 days and 2 weeks and 2 months. And then you come back 6 months later and go, I'm ready to start my Beachbody business again. I'm motivated. Let's do this. And then you repeat the process of going downhill. And then you get motivated. And then you go downhill. And then you get motivated. If you yo-yo anything in life, it will never be a lifestyle. If you have a yo-yo diet, your fitness is yo-yoing. If your business is yo-yoing, you're always going to be stuck here. You're never going to get to the top. You're never going to progress. So leaving this call, if anything, just fully accept the fact that you are in control of where you are in life. You are in control of your mindset. You are in control of the choices you make. You are in control if you do this list or not. You are in control of that. I don't want to hear I'm busy, I don't have time, I have family matters. We all have that stuff. We all have families to get to. We all have other obligations in life. We all have busy schedules. But here's the thing. We all have the same 24 hours. The wealthiest and most successful people on the face of the planet, they have the same 24 hours we do. It's what you choose to do with each one of those hours and each one of those minutes that makes or breaks your success and where you are. If you choose to skip your workouts, and if you choose to eat crappy food, and if you choose to not work your Beachbody business every single day, consistently over time, you will always be stuck in the same place. Again, with my personal journey, there's a reason I've been stuck at Diamond for the last 3 years. It's because I maintained. I didn't show up and do the extra work. I didn't put in star diamond level work, so I stayed a diamond. You have the opportunity right now to change the path that you're on. You have the opportunity to find that thing within you that you've never tapped into before, that power, that greatness. I love Les Brown because he always says you have greatness within you. And we all do, but there's very few that tap into it. I look at this whole journey of mine, and I've been signed up for 6 years. I can honestly say I've only really tapped into my greatness in the last month. I have truly tapped into something that I have never had before, and it's called fire. I'm not talking about the temporary fireworks where you feel motivated to do something for 2 weeks. I'm talking I found something within me that is a true driving force, something that is going to bring me to that next level. It's going to bring this team to the next level, because my vision is not for myself to do this alone. I do not do well alone. I thrive when I'm in a community of like-minded people. That's why I love Beachbody events. I've been to 5 summits. I've been to, I don't even know how many Super Saturdays. I've been to a lot of Beachbody events. And there's a reason why I get so fired up when I'm at them, is because I thrive in a team culture, community environment of people just like me. So when I'm up here talking about this stuff and my goals to hit star diamond elite status, that's not just me. I have the vision to do that for the team. I want everyone on the team to be able to do that with me. And we all have the same 24 hours in a day. We all have the same list available to us. We all have the same resources. We all have the same opportunity. We all started at 0. The only difference between the ones that still at 0 and the ones who are making, let's say $10,000 a month, 10-star elite coaches, the only difference is consistency, commitment, and time. I am making the dedication to do it this year. And I want each of you to be able to do it with me, but it's up to you to make the decision that you want it bad enough for yourself. I want everyone on the team to see amazing success with this. But the reality is not everyone will do it, because it's not everyone's goals. Everyone has different goals. But if you are like me and you see a huge vision for this thing, I want to connect with you. I want to work one-on-one. I want to text with each other every day. I need we all need that type of support and accountability. So, leaving this call, just show up and do it. Those have been my 5 tips. Thank you guys for working with the poor internet connection. For those of you watching the recording, it wasn't that bad because I'll splice it together. But aside from that, peace out. It's been Coach Chaz. I'll see you guys later.